Have you ever wondered why the nicest people often suffer the most? Why the ones with the softest hearts end up carrying the heaviest pain? Let me take you to a small, quiet village, a place where kindness was supposed to be a blessing. But for one man, it became a lifelong wound. In the village of Darika lived a man named Arun. He wasn't rich, he wasn't powerful, but he had something rare, a heart so pure that he couldn't say no to anyone. If someone needed a ride to the weekly market, Arun was ready. If someone's harvest was delayed, he'd leave his own fields to help. If someone needed money, just for a few days, Arun would give it, even if it meant skipping his own meals. The villagers praised him publicly. He's such a good man. He never refuses anyone. But behind those compliments was a silent expectation. Arun will always be available. Seriously, if the village had a superhero, Arun would be the guy who shows up with a sack of rice instead of a cape. But kindness without boundaries is a door left open for anyone to walk through, even those who don't deserve entry. And soon, that door would cost Arun more than he ever imagined. One summer, the rains failed, crops dried, work slowed, food became scarce. Arun, who had always helped others, now needed help himself. His mother fell ill. Medicine was expensive. He went to the same neighbors he had stood by for years. "Just a small loan," he said softly. "I'll return it after harvest." But suddenly, everyone had excuses. One neighbor avoided eye contact. "I wish I could help, but things are tight." Another closed his door quickly. "You know how it is. Maybe next month." Even the village headman, whose field Arun had harvested for free, said, "It wouldn't be fair to others if I helped only you." Arun walked back home that evening with empty hands and a heart full of cracks. That night, as he sat by the dim lamp, something inside him asked, "Why is my kindness always one-sided? Why am I there for everyone, but no one is here for me?" But the real blow came the next morning. A villager burst into Arun's courtyard shouting, "Arun, we need your help. The old banyan tree has fallen. Come quick." Arun looked at his sick mother, then at the people who denied him help when he begged for it. And for the first time in his life, he said, "I can't." The silence that followed was louder than thunder. The villagers stared at him as if he had committed a crime. One of them muttered, "He's changed." Another whispered, "Ever since he needed help, he's become arrogant." But they didn't know. They hadn't seen anything yet. A few days later, a traveling sage came to the village. He saw Arun sitting alone under the neem tree, lost in thought. The sage asked, "You look troubled, son. What weighs on your heart?" Arun told him everything. The years of giving, the loneliness of being used, and the moment the village walked away. The sage listened quietly, then smiled gently and said, "Son, a tree that gives shade to everyone dries the fastest." Arun looked up. The sage continued, "Your heart is a well, but even a well must be protected. If everyone draws from it and no one fills it, it will turn to dust." Those words hit Arun harder than any betrayal. In that moment, he realized his problem was not that he was kind. His problem was that he was available to everyone, even those who never respected him. And with that realization, he made a decision. He would help, but not at the cost of his health. He would give, but not to people who drained him. He would be kind, but not blindly kind. When the villagers came again with trivial requests, Arun politely declined, not out of bitterness, but out of wisdom. He rebuilt his life slowly, focused on his work, cared for his mother, invested time only in those who valued him. Months later, something changed in the village. People who once used him started respecting him, not because they suddenly became good, but because Arun finally showed them how he deserved to be treated. Arun's story is not just a village story, it's a human story, maybe yours. You're not suffering because you're too nice. You're suffering because you're nice to the wrong people. People who see your kindness as weakness. People who take until you have nothing left. So learn this today. Protect your heart. Guard your time. Value your energy. Because if you don't respect your boundaries, no one else will. And remember, kindness is beautiful, but kindness without limits is self-destruction. Let Arun's story open your eyes forever. This is Tales That Inspire, where stories teach you what life won't.